Hello. Wednesday turned out to be one of those days for many parts of the British Isles, with a notable exception of Scotland. And that really just sort of warms you up for the rest of the week, which is going to be unusually windy, and there will be further spells of rain at times. You may well have heard about Storm Ellen. It's going to get as close as the southern parts of the Republic of Ireland in the next few hours or so. The isobar is really beginning to pinch up there. Some of the gusts of wind around 80 miles an hour or so here. At the same time, really turning quite windy up through the Irish Sea and those areas bordering onto it. So just watch out for that. There could well be some disruption to the travel plans. There may even be some damage and some power loss as well. We wait and see. But having said all of that, once we push the rain away from the north of Scotland, the bulk of Britain is going to enjoy a really decent sort of summer's day until, I concede late on, we'll push another bout of wind and some pretty hefty showers into the western parts of the British Isles out east. Well, 24, 25 degrees as that sunshine just keeps on going. But it will be a blustery day right across the piece. There comes that second pulse of wind and rain, if you like, getting through Northern Ireland and then eventually through the Irish Sea into the western fringes of Scotland, England and Wales. Now that comes from, if you like, the parent low to Storm Ellen, which will by that time have become subsumed into the general circulation. But that circulation is closing on the British Isles all the while, to give us a more generally windy day across the piece. Here again, the gusts as we get on into the afternoon, 50, 60 miles an hour or so in exposure. So again, some damage, some disruption perhaps, but at least the wind is coming from the south. So if you can avoid the heavy bursts of rain across northern and western areas, out east you'll be looking again at a decent day, 23, 24 degrees or so. On into the first part of the weekend, no great surprise if I tell you that the low pressure is still dominant as it moves towards Scandinavia, but at least looking behind it, things in the short term, i.e. Sunday, are looking a little bit quieter. But Saturday is still very much dominated by the low, moving up towards the Northern Isles. The wind direction just changing a touch, coming round to more of a northwesterly across the northern half of the British Isles. Still really quite gusty, so again, that could have an influence on your travel plans. Speed restrictions on some bridges, some tricky driving conditions, southern uplands of Scotland, across the Trans-Pennine routes, for example. But again, not a complete write-off, because as we come further south, it will be that wee bit drier. You'll escape the worst of the showers. You might make 22 or 23. Sunday is a quieter day. You remember we were looking behind that system. It looks a little bit quieter into the Atlantic. But I'm going to show you the week ahead. First of all, with regard to the jet stream, whenever you see it firing at the British Isles like that, just think that every low pressure going is going to be heading our way until later in the week it just begins to do that. We build in a little ridge of high pressure. So in the first part of the week, the low pressures and unsettled fair keeps on coming at us. Then we suspect that midweek-ish, there could well be a ridge of high pressure to come in to settle things down, but only for a time. So the themes of next week: low pressure certainly dominant to start with. Then it turns a little bit more settled perhaps, and the temperatures really won't warrant a postcard home. Take care. Bye-bye.